Baalakai was extremely confident at this point. He was able to use his will and influence to have all of the most powerful gang members on this side of the planet submit to his will. He then looks to the voice and says, I want an audience again with Kuregon. I am confident this time he will join my forces. The voice smiled. Baalakai was indeed becoming more bold and more brash in his ideas and thinking. And with that, he bows and sends forth the summoning to Kuregon. Later on, Baalakai actually meets with Kuregon, and Kuregon is there, and he sees the forces around him. Indeed, Captain Baalakai has indeed increased his forces substantially. And with all the gangs submitting, Baalakai then again comes to Kuregon, wanting him to join his forces. And with that, he actually comes to him. And you can see that Kuregon does indeed submit himself to Baalakai, but barely. It was barely enough to get him to submit, but submit he does. And he gives his forces over to Lord Baalakai. Lord Baalakai, Kuregon tells him, I will indeed follow your orders, but there is one other whom definitely you need his aid. And with my support, I am sure he will also be willing to support you. Lord Baalakai then looks at him and then says, proceed. And with that, Kuregon departs, and when he returns, he brings back another. And this is the warlord Zor, who Kuregon has worked with in the past. And Zor had indeed had a mighty force of also of renegade Imperial Guard, who he had worked in the past with Kuregon. And he looks at Captain Baalakai and kind of scoffs at him. But he also looks around him and sees that he was able to make the white gang submit, and saw that their great lord, whom the white had called their great lord Himmler, and two of his lieutenants had fallen. And Zartan had still bent his knee to this new lord. And he wondered, maybe he is strong enough to lead us. And with that, Baalakai looks to him and tells him, will you also submit your knee to me? Will you bow to my leadership? And with that, Zor does indeed decide he is strong enough to lead. And Zor bends his knee to Baalakai and submits his forces. Zor then has a surprise for Lord Baalakai. Lord Baalakai, I have indeed a vessel of mine, as well as a mighty force, who will aid you on your quest, lead us to victory. Kuregon told his lord, my lord, my force may not be as strong as Zor's, but I do have two mighty vehicles at your disposal, a Leman Russ and a Walker, that will also aid your forces. Use them as you see fit. Combine our forces, lead us to victory. The voice then looks on and smiles. Lord Baalakai is exceeding his expectations, and will immediately report to the Plague Lord that he is now ready to begin the next push of his quest and to his ascension